Hey all, welcome to Share Trek. This is Raj here. I hope you guys are doing well and having a great weekend. I want to talk today about something which is related not only to genomics and the companies that we have in our watch list, but also the general well-being of people and the political climate that we are all living in. So please watch this video until the end because I have some important message to communicate. Let's get started. Welcome back, friends. Well, most of you are genomic investors. The people who watch our channel are quite savvy in this field and understand the importance of CRISPR-Cas9, the importance of DNA, importance of genomic sequencing, the importance of working on therapies to cure rare diseases, and in developing the whole range of toolkits that we have at our disposal to attack genetic diseases and all kinds of ailments that seem to bug humankind, as well as our animals and pets and everything. So this is what progress means for the human race. And we have come a long way from the days when we used to have natural remedies where we used to hope and pray that a combination of herbs or something is going to cure a disease. And then we came on to the small molecules and various other methods. We developed surgery and all that stuff. So this is all constant progress going forward. Now today, I'm really alarmed at what is happening in the United States. And guys, I want you all to pay very good attention to this. I'm not an American. I can't change the course of what's happening in the US, and neither should I, because I would be interfering in the internal affairs of a different country. But what happens in US later on gets replicated across the world, because once US does something, a license is given to the rest of the world. So those of you who are audiences from US, please contact your local representative if they start doing any of these kind of activities. Let me show you a press release that triggered me to make this video. So in USA Today, there was this news article which says Idaho would criminalize giving mRNA vaccines. The tech is used in popular COVID vaccines. So, which means that mRNA COVID vaccines can no longer be provided to people in Idaho if this bill passes. And it was introduced by two Republican Idaho lawmakers last week. And it's co-sponsored by Senator Tammy Nichols and Representative Judy Boyle. House Bill 154 was introduced February 15 in the House Health and Welfare Committee, and would ban all mRNA technology in the state. If passed, the Idaho State Code would be amended so that those administering mRNA vaccines to any person or mammal within the state would face misdemeanor charges. Notwithstanding any other provision of law, a person may not provide or administer a vaccine developed using messenger ribonucleic acid technology for use in an individual or any other mammal in this state. The bill states a person who violates this section is guilty of misdemeanor. Friends, this is very, very scary, because mRNA, as you guys know, is a very, very potent tool for handling problems that are found within the body. The currency of our body is protein. Various types of proteins with various shapes are used for various functions in the body. Our body naturally produces the proteins because our DNA consists of a lot of genes, and those genes are actually blueprints for proteins. And the body requests the nucleus to produce various proteins in response to various body situations. And that's how the whole human system works. And when there's a genetic malfunction, some proteins are not produced properly, or some wrong versions of the proteins are produced. And mRNA technology has the ability to address that. mRNA basically is a very good tool in the hands of scientists to address a lot of protein-related issues, and also for producing vaccines where they can create antigens using mRNA. And what makes me even more concerned is the quality of lawmakers being elected in the United States. These people are saying that do not trust the research scientists who have spent a lifetime focusing on their respective fields. Do not trust them, and the lawmakers are going to decide, like the Dark Ages, to ban stuff that these things cannot be done. And I recollect when I was much younger, stem cell research was again a big issue. At that time, I think Ronald Reagan was the president. And there was a lot of hue and cry at that time to ban stem cell research. And there was a lot of misinformation going around the place and so on. So if we cannot do any progress, how is the human race going to develop and evolve and become a better civilization? So we need these things to survive. In the next pandemic, if we are going to be deprived of mRNA vaccines, then we have to go back to the old method of searching for a vaccine, and it would take 10 or 15 years to prepare. And who would like to do that? So that's a problem. And also we have a situation in US, I don't know which state it was, but this lady was pregnant, her fetus was not viable, and she was not allowed to abort. And it's also penalized to cross state borders and go out and get the procedure done. So what happens to the health of the woman? So these are all scary things. And for us as genomic investors, this step is very regressive, because everything that genomics is going to do is going to be on the cutting edge. And whenever there is misinformation spread, these less aware politicians who do not have the intellectual curiosity potentially to investigate and understand the whole thing, just go ahead and have a knee-jerk reaction of just preventing the technology from being used. So it's a very, very sad situation. And one of the reasons why US is great is because I know for sure many Indian scientists came to United States because there was a lot of opportunity and there was a lot of funding, and US was pro-science, and they didn't get the same opportunity in those days in India. And likewise, from many countries, scientists have come to United States for further studies. Like they would for example, they would complete their masters and come over to US to do their PhD, or come to US to do their masters and PhD, and then get into research as research assistant. And many professors in the United States are immigrants who are from other countries who have studied in US. US has been a center of excellence for studies in genomics and many sciences. And with this kind of approach and the approach of banning books and all that, it's getting very, very scary. It's time that the United States gets back on track and becomes the rightful leader of the world, because at this point of time, it seems to me like the better angels are not winning in the United States, and things are not looking great. So I hope that in the next election, maybe better representatives are elected and US resumes the path of science, so that there can be progress not only for US but for the whole world as such. Otherwise, US is likely to lose its dominance. If there are a lot of restrictions put, and if the US continues to do sanctions against many countries, there will be a tipping point after which it will be very easy to move the centers of excellences to other countries where the regulation regime is much more conducive and progressive, and then US is likely to lose its leadership. I hope it doesn't happen. But right now, when I look at the news coming from the US, especially as it pertains to healthcare and medicine, and the most recent one, mRNA, it's looking scary, because if one state enacts a mRNA rule, then there will be other states also which will go in for the mRNA rule. And then if only half of the country can use mRNA, then the viability of those solutions becomes even more difficult for companies. And also, what is to prevent these legislators from saying that if you live in this state, not only can you not be administered mRNA, but you can't go to another state and get an mRNA vaccine. So those things are also in the pipeline if we look at how the abortion issue is going. So there needs to be some amount of quality control on the legislators that are being elected into various government bodies in the US. I think if it's not done, then they are going to dumb down education. They are going to produce the next generation of people who are not going to be having critical thinking, who are not going to be having the latest scientific knowledge, and that's only going to take United States behind. So I hope that you guys are able to pass this on to people who understand this. I'm appealing this to the US audience. Please pass it on to your friends so that they also understand that this is a very important issue, and they keep that in mind whichever party or candidate they decide to vote for in the next election, because bad legislators will produce bad legislation, and those bad legislation will directly affect not only your life but that of your children and family, and also potentially your investments. So with that, my friends, I would like to bring this video to an end. It's not all gloom and doom. It's still in your control. I hope you are able to prevail. Make sure that many people understand how things are progressing and what they need to do. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.